Pep Guardiola and Man City are experiencing their worst nightmare run of form across all competitions for the first time in nearly 2 decades. The reigning Premier League champions have only won once in their last 11 matches across all competitions. This has significantly narrowed their chances of defending their English title this season and their hopes of progressing in the Champions League. There are numerous reasons for the poor performance of the Etihad-based team. Most notably, Guardiola's squad has been plagued by injuries, jokingly referred to by fans as acquiring Swiss citizenship recently. The latest case is that of centre-back Ruben Dias, with the Portuguese star diagnosed with an injury that will keep him off the pitch for at least 3 to 4 weeks. According to data from Transfermarkt, Dias has become the 5th injured player at Man City so far, following Manuel Akanji, Nathan Ake, Rodri, and Oscar Bob. Among these names, 3 are key defensive players. Opta statistics show that Man City has conceded 23 goals since November. No club in Europe's top 5 leagues has a worse record than the Citizens during this period. It can be said that the fragile defense is gradually becoming the Achilles heel, burying all of Man City's ambitions this season. The defense was already weak, and now it's even thinner in terms of personnel. Guardiola and his associates at Man City are truly on the hot seat. If they don't address this issue soon, they can forget about winning the Premier League. The Spanish manager should be more worried about his own job security, as well as the team's chances of participating in next season's Champions League. After a bitter 1-2 defeat to their crosstown rivals, Manchester United, last weekend in the 16th round of the Premier League, Man City now trails league leaders Liverpool by 9 points. The Citizens have even played one more game than their rivals, so this gap could potentially increase to 12 points, as the Reds only have to face a struggling Everton in their game in hand. However, for a Man City side in free fall, both 9 and 12 points represent a massive gap, almost impossible to bridge. Following the defeat to Man United, Guardiola's team even dropped out of the top 4 in the league standings, which guarantees direct qualification for next season's Champions League. As the impressive recent form of Nottingham Forest pushed the Etihad-based team down to 5th place, just 1 point ahead. In the Champions League, the situation isn't much better for the Manchester Blue side. After the first 6 group stage matches, Man City only managed to collect a mere 8 points. With 2 wins, 2 draws, and 2 losses, this has left them in 2nd place. According to this season's format, this position isn't enough to directly qualify for the round of 16, and Man City will have to compete in a playoff round to determine their fate. The gap between Man City and 8th place is now 5 points. With only 2 matches remaining in the group stage, the Citizens' chances of escaping the Grim Reaper and directly advancing to the next round are slim. Man City's current situation in major tournaments can only be described with extremely negative terms like precarious, crisis-ridden, or critical, witnessing a giant, comprehensive in every aspect under Guardiola's near-decade reign, weakened so drastically in such a short time. The press and public naturally can't ignore this hot topic for analysis, dissection, or even to undermine Guardiola's reputation and managerial ability. There have been analyses of the reasons behind Man City's crisis, including poor decisions from the club's board in not spending enough to refresh an aging squad, a squad perhaps satiated with titles after a cycle of success under Guardiola. Others believe that legal issues, specifically the 115 charges of breaching financial regulations brought by the Premier League, looming large, are also significantly impacting the players' mentality. But perhaps the most realistic and easily recognizable issue at Etihad right now is Guardiola's headache as he witnesses a series of key players sidelined by various injuries. Ahead of today's trip to Villa Park to face Aston Villa in the 17th round of the Premier League, Guardiola received another blow regarding his squad's fitness, as centre-back Ruben Dias suffered an injury and will be unavailable for about a month. Thus, in today's match, in addition to Dias, Guardiola's squad is expected to be without Akanji, Rodri, and Oscar Bob, other injured players. 3 of these are defenders, facing a tricky Aston Villa side that has made significant strides recently. Can Man City's patched-up defense hold firm for the full 90 minutes in their upcoming stormy trip to Birmingham? According to Opta, Man City has conceded 23 goals since November, the worst record among teams in Europe's top 5 leagues. As we have analyzed, the lack of leadership and command in defense from veteran center-backs like Diaz, John Stones, and Akanji, coupled with frequent individual errors, are the main reasons why Man City's defense, which has cost over £400 million in the past decade, is struggling as it is. Therefore, losing Diaz for another month amidst a grueling upcoming schedule will undoubtedly make Guardiola grimace. It might even give him heart palpitations as he anticipates more shaky defensive moments from his players. The injury storm is truly testing Guardiola. Sky Sports statistics reveal that Man City has recorded a total of 14 different player injuries this season, ranking 5th in the league for total injuries. Even before last weekend's Manchester derby, manager Guardiola admitted that without key players like Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden, and Diaz, he couldn't help Man City maintain their success. "We have to play without the best player in the world," Ballon d'Or 2024 winner, presumably referring to Haaland. Although Rodri is mentioned in the original text, and without the best player in the Premier League last season, Phil Foden, no team can play well without center-backs, without the best player, and without a Ballon d'Or winner, Guardiola said. Indeed, for any strategist, especially Guardiola, who has built Man City into a perfect machine in every aspect, a squad depleted by injuries makes it extremely difficult to maintain a winning streak. But these Sky Sports statistics also expose a weakness in the 53-year-old manager's approach. Specifically, although Man City is among the teams with the most injuries in the Premier League this season, in terms of total days players have missed due to injury, the Citizens only rank 7th with 372 days. This figure pales in comparison to Brighton and Crystal Palace. Even Liverpool, the current leaders, have lost 382 days to injuries, 10 more than Man City. Following Man City's 0-2 defeat to Juventus in the Champions League earlier this month, former player Jamie Carragher made some interesting observations about the crisis the Citizens are facing. A few weeks ago, Man City were in crisis, but now things have become serious. Pep's success in his career means he hasn't experienced this. Many managers will be smirking seeing him face what should be normal in management. Carragher said, "Guardiola is undoubtedly among the greatest managers in football history, thanks to the prestigious honors he's achieved in his career." But Carragher's statement isn't wrong. From Barcelona 28 years ago to Man City now, the 1971-born strategist has never experienced a period where his team has struggled like this, and certainly not a situation where his squad has been so ravaged by injuries. Guardiola may be a builder of empires, but he's clearly not a firefighter like Claudio Ranieri, capable of extinguishing the flames in the dressing room in a short time. Man City chose to trust Guardiola by extending his contract for 2 more years. Therefore, the Etihad club should also acknowledge that the Spanish captain can't single-handedly steer this ship through the fierce injury storm. The upcoming January transfer window is the perfect opportunity for Guardiola to cool things down. A quality defensive midfielder and a center-back will be what he craves more than ever. Guardiola needs to swallow his pride, admit that the team is in crisis, and if he doesn't add reinforcements soon, this season might as well be written off for the Citizens.